Alright, Steam Deck versus OLED Switch. Let's go over the raw stats. For pricing, we've got three models for the Steam Deck: $400, $530, and $650, while the OLED Switch starts at $350. For size, the Steam Deck is 11.7 inches in length, 4.6 inches in height, and 2 inches in thickness. In other words, a Nintendo Switch plus 2.3 inches in length, a Switch plus 0.6 inches in height, and a Nintendo Switch plus 1.5 inches in thickness. For displays, both consoles have 7-inch screens. The Steam Deck has a slightly higher resolution than the new Nintendo Switch, but the OLED Nintendo Switch's main feature is organic LED, meaning better color accuracy and higher brightness. For connectivity, the Steam Deck has one USB Type-C, a headphone jack, and a microSD card slot. The OLED Nintendo Switch takes that up a notch by adding 3 extra USB ports on its dock. Both these devices can be used on larger screens, but the Steam Deck, when docked, can turn into a full-fledged gaming PC. That is super cool. It uses Linux, but it can also run any other operating system that you want, such as Windows. For internal specs, the Steam Deck is okay. It uses an AMD APU that'll be fine for portable gaming, and probably alright for gaming on a PC. Meanwhile, the OLED Switch uses the NVIDIA Tegra chip found in the original Switch from 2017, meaning you're using 4-year-old tech in a new release. It's alright, but it's not great for 2021. For RAM, the Steam Deck has 16 gigabytes of super speedy memory. Impressive. The OLED Switch has 4 gigabytes, just like the original. Now for storage, the starter model of the Steam Deck has 64 gigabytes of eMMC, while the more expensive options have 256 gigabytes and 512 gigabytes of NVMe storage. eMMC is a slower storage drive than NVMe, and I question how much you can save on 64 gigabytes. But rest assured, the original 2017 Nintendo Switch and now the OLED Switch both come with 64 gigabytes of storage, and they seem to be doing just fine in most people's hands because of that extra microSD card slot that the Steam Deck also has. Lastly, for games, the Steam Deck plays your entire Steam library, while the OLED Switch plays mostly Nintendo exclusives, but some third-party games as well. So Steam Deck equals Nintendo Switch killer? Honestly, maybe. I don't know. Nintendo may have dropped the ball on their OLED model by making it the same console as before, just with a bigger screen, but many people have other reasons for buying the Switch besides the tech. For instance, the exclusives. There are always new tech releases that are marketed as killers of other products, whether they are or not, but I feel like there is still a big market for the OLED Nintendo Switch, increased competition or not. And even if the OLED Switch does perform worse because of the announcement of the Steam Deck, Nintendo will find a way to fix it. It's been around for a long time, it can probably survive. And at the end of the day, you speak with your wallet. If you like the Steam Deck, buy it. Tell your friends about it. Go support it. Conversely, if you don't like the OLED Switch, don't buy it. Now, of course, this needs to be done on a macro scale to make great change, and the scalpers will definitely buy it out initially. But if we don't buy from the scalpers and Nintendo itself, that decrease in demand will definitely reach the higher ups of Nintendo, and maybe that'll prompt them to release that Switch Pro that everyone's been asking for. Now, what would I rather buy? Well, frankly, I'd like to buy both. I like them a lot. I just don't have the means to buy them right now, but I would love to play Super Smash Bros., Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and Garry's Mod on a portable console. That sounds super cool. But if I can only choose one, I think I'd get the Steam Deck right now. It's a console that can be transported fairly easily anywhere and then connect to a monitor morphs into an entire PC, which means it's not just for gaming, it can be used to do work as well. And that's super rad tech. I love that kind of innovation, and I'm really interested in what the reviewers will have to say about it. Will the Steam Deck be good, or will it just be another fad like the Steam Box? Only time will tell. If you'd like to see other videos about this topic, I've linked many more down in the description to watch at your discretion. Thank you very much for watching, and have a wonderful day.